Hey, it's Midnight Roman, and today we're looking at the baffling case of Branson Perry. So, welcome to my channel. This is the Midnight Raven. Welcome. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing and clicking that notification bell. I do load videos every day on various content. Today, we're looking at the case of Branson Perry, who went missing and was never seen again. These are investigations to keep you up at night, and let's get into the case. So, Branson Perry disappeared from his father's Skidmore, Missouri home on April the 11th, 2001. But the 20-year-old wasn't alone when it happened. His friend Jenna Crawford had visited him to help clean the house before Branson's dad would return from a stay in hospital. Jenna claimed that Perry walked outside and shouted up to her through the window and said that he was returning some jump cables to the shed by the house. Two men nearby were working, and they were within earsight and eyesight of fixing their father's car. So what you have here is you have Branson going outside to the shed. Jenna was indoors, and two men were working to fix Branson's dad's car. So, despite the numerous witnesses, Branson Perry still managed to vanish just moments later. So, the Nordaway Holt High School graduate went missing and has never been seen again. This case has gained interest and died off throughout the years as little to none was moving in this case. So, mundane leads quickly turn to dead ends, and harrowing and bizarre developments would either stunt the case or fuel it. So, Branson Perry disappeared and remains one of the most maddened cases in recent history. Branson was working at a petting zoo at the time of his mysterious disappearance. He had suffered from tachycardia, a condition that makes his heart race, and he was living at home with his father. So on April the 7th, a few days before he vanished, Branson would visit his neighbor Jason Berman, who doused him with an unidentifiable drug. Branson then stripped naked and danced before shaving off his lower pubic region and then engaging in sexual activities with Jason. Once Branson had sobered up, he was humiliated and told his father everything that had happened. I don't know whether I'd have the guts to tell my father that kind of thing, but he obviously felt humiliated. He felt maybe taken advantage of. So he would tell his dad, once he had sobered up, everything that happened. Now, Branson's dad was outraged, but Branson's dad didn't go and confront Jason, and nothing came of that. Jason was never officially a suspect in Branson's disappearance, and nothing more was mentioned about Jason being part of the case. It just turned out that it was maybe an isolated incident that had maybe gone too far. A couple of boys having a couple of drinks, partaking in recreational drugs, if you want to call it, did some less than moral activities, but there was no crime really that would suggest Jason did anything to Branson for him to disappear. So on the day he vanished, Jenna, his friend, assumed he had gone elsewhere after taking the jump leads to the shed, and that he just hadn't come straight back to the house, and that he'd gone for whatever reason elsewhere. The next day came, and his grandmother came to the house to find an empty house. Branson hadn't come back the next day, and Branson still didn't return home the preceding days. So he is now classed as a missing person. So the parents then filed a missing person case on the 16th the 16th, 2001, and all his belongings were still in the house. He hadn't taken his stuff and absconded. No one suspected any foul play. There didn't seem to be any disturbances in the house. Nothing had been touched. Nothing had been moved. None of his belongings were gone, so it's not like he took his stuff and ran. In 2003, a bizarre turn in the case would surface, and then a Boy Scout minister named Jack Rogers was arrested for unrelated charges after attempting to perform some very promiscuous sex reassignment surgery on a trans woman and failed to stop the bleeding. Rogers was charged with first-degree assault and practicing medicine without a license. Now, how does this relate to Branson's case? Well, this guy had apparently been doing untoward things to a variety of people over time, and possibly he may have had something to do with Branson. The lines on this connection are very thin, and as it stands, police believe that Branson was murdered, but by who? They have no body to go on, and at this minute, very little leads and evidence. They suspect maybe it was a local drug gang for whatever reason, or that the Boy Scout leader may have been involved who did the reassignment surgery on a trans woman. They don't quite have enough evidence to link to one particular person. The fact that a boy could just walk to a shed, say he's going there, and then just disappear with at least 3 people in the area. Obviously, Jenna was in the house, and the 2 men were working on his father's car. How he got from the house to the shed, put the jump leads in, and then disappeared, and no one saw or heard anything, seems crazy. But at this point, he is still a missing person. There is no evidence to suggest that Branson is dead, but there is no evidence to suggest that Branson is alive. There is literally nothing to tell one or the other. Without a body, you're presumed alive, but after a while, when you go down the line, years after years, no one's seen you, no one's heard from you, no bank charges, you haven't come home. It does start to fuel the fact that maybe, just maybe, Branson Perry is dead. But the question would then be, why is he dead? Who took him? And the reasons behind the killing. And with no leads and no body and nothing to go on, no one witnessed anything apart from him saying he was going to the shed. There's nothing at this point to come from all of this, unless someone can come forward with a witness statement saying they saw something untoward, they saw him leaving, they saw him being picked up in a car or something like that. There's nothing to go on. It's literally a missing persons case where a guy walks to a shed from his house and vanishes and is never seen again. So I hope you enjoyed this case. This is the Branson Perry case. He disappeared in 2001. This is 2022 and he's still never been seen. No body has been recovered. He's literally just disappeared off the face of the earth. And with no leads to go on and no witnesses, it's a bit hard to close a case like this with no body and no trace of him. So this case is still a missing person case. They're still looking into it, and hopefully one day, whether Branson's found alive or dead, they can close the case so that the family can move on. So if you like this case, give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below, what do you think happened to Branson? Did he disappear of his own accord? Was he abducted? Is he alive? Is he dead? What was the motive for taking him? It seemed he was just a small town boy working at a petting zoo and just living the life of, you know, calm and quiet, you know, in a little state of Missouri. So like and subscribe on your way out if you want to support the channel. Remember, a membership gets you one extra video a week. And if you want to support the channel by PayPal or a super chat, let me know as well that you've done it in the comments, and I will definitely watch it back. Like and subscribe. This is True Crime with Raven, and I will be back with another case very soon. Take care and thanks for watching. Bye, guys.